How you doing, folks? I wanted to welcome you all back to the Red Horn Society. I'm Joe Kappa, and today I want to go over with you Elk Hunting 101. Here we are, beginning of July. I know most folks are getting a lot of anticipation about the elk hunting season. It's about to be honest. 30 days from now, there's going to be a lot of us in the woods going after that first elk. However, I wanted to go over a lot of the keynote things that I think are extremely important about making your first year of an elk hunt successful. Now, I can't speak for other states, but I know the state of Colorado considers that 10% of all elk hunters that come to Colorado and buy a tag will have a successful elk hunt. It's a very, very low percentage hunt. The reason because it's not an easy hunt. It's a very difficult hunt. It's not a whitetail hunt. It's not, months and months of preparation to get whitetails in, stand up in your tree stand, draw back, whoosh, call it a day. It's a very rugged hunt. It's a lot of foot. It's even on horseback and things of that nature. There's a lot of things that go into it that a lot of people don't anticipate, especially on their first elk hunt. So first off, I want to start off by saying, number one, 1 year prep time. In my opinion, it takes at least 1 year, figurative year, 12 months for a successful elk hunt. Not saying it can't be done. Not saying that you can't get a wild hair up your ass here on July 5th and say, I'm going to go ahead and research my tag, get me a tag, I'm going elk hunting. See you later, honey. I'm going out west. I'm not saying that you can't do it. I just think it's a lot less likely that you have a successful elk hunt. In my opinion, if you want to go on an elk hunt, you should start preparing right now for next year. However, if you want to go, have at it. Wouldn't knock anybody for trying it. I think it's the greatest, most challenging big game hunt in North America. That's my opinion. But I would suggest giving yourself 1 year preparation. Number two, licensed outfitters. If you're going on your first year's elk hunt, maybe even second year's elk hunt, say the first year you went out and you were unsuccessful, you want to go back and give it a second try, I highly suggest going with a licensed outfitter. Yet again, 1 year prep time. Most licensed outfitters are booked out a year in advance. I've even seen in some cases where they're booked out 2 years in advance. But for the most part, they're booked out a year in advance. So with that being said, if you're planning on going next year, perfect this year, and you're going with a licensed outfitter and you haven't done any preparations yet, probably not going to happen. But then you're going to have 12 years of figuratively ready prep time. You're going to have a lot more successful hunt. So let's say, for instance, you are going with a licensed outfitter, and the reason why I push that you should go with a licensed outfitter. Number one, you leaving your truck August 15th to head out to Colorado for opening day of elk hunting season. You've never been out there before, never seen the Rocky Mountains, but you have done your research and you know that you can get a tag over the counter in the particular unit you're going to be hunting in and things of that nature. You're going to need a tent. First and foremost, sleeping bags, food, MREs, things of that nature, something that you can eat. You're going to need to have an idea of the area that you're going to hunt. You're going to have to find an area to hunt. You're going to have to chop down firewood. You're going to have to pack all that in. Are you going to have horses? Are you not going to have horses? Are you going to have a campfire? Are you going to do a cold camp? A lot of questions that need to be answered before you even consider going by yourself. And the thing about it is, I've seen a lot of folks that have gone first and second year with a licensed outfitter, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, to the end of their days, go by themselves, or continue going with a licensed outfitter. It's all up to you, but I suggest going with a licensed outfitter. Now, why do I keep stressing the fact that I say licensed outfitter? There are a lot of illegal outfitters in the United States today. If you, in fact, get a shitty draw and go with a licensed illegal outfitter, and that particular person gets busted while you're on a hunt with them, if that particular person has you trespassing and you're not aware of it, you can get charged with that. Not only that, it will ruin your hunt if you're not trespassing, say you're just in the national forest or something of that nature. But do your research. Make sure they're a licensed outfitter with the state, whomever you're hunting with. Make sure they have a tangible license number, and even research that license number. Now, there's also flat-out shitty licensed outfitters. When I say that, I say I've seen it more times than I like to admit. People that would come out west to go on an outfit, to go on a guided hunt, hook up with the particular outfitter that they were going to utilize, and they drive them out to the middle of nowhere and say, you can hunt on this side of the road, or you can hunt on that side of the road. I'll see you in 5 days. So make sure that's not going to happen to you, because there are shitty outfitters out there. There's shitty people out there. By default, they're shitty outfitters. So let's talk about some of the things that you need to look into once you've contacted your licensed outfitter and got the ball rolling on booking your hunt. Type of clothes you're going to need. In my opinion, elk sense of smell, elk sense of environment isn't as heightened as a whitetail. Therefore, I don't see the need for scent lock clothing and things of that nature. Not saying that some people don't utilize it and see the value in it. I, however, do not. When I hunt, make sure when I'm stalking for my shot, I'm dead downwind. When you're downwind, it makes any bow hunt that much more successful. I mean, you can, at that point, fart in the wind and don't have to worry about it blowing your hunt. The scent lock, very expensive clothes were never something I've really felt that I needed. I was kind of a, academy, camouflage, button-up shirt kind of guy. Really didn't see that. However, when I went out there, I'd typically pack 3 to 4 button-up shirts, 3 to 4 t-shirts, long sleeves, a couple pairs of camo pants, good socks, cotton socks. I never utilized wool. However, when I was there for the archery season, I never felt it necessary to have extremely warm winter clothes. During the archery season, the weather is still relatively mild. You can have a freak storm come in on you. Chances are it's not going to be very common. So I would maybe pack a pair of long underwear and possibly a winter coat. Nothing too extravagant. Also, let me stress, vacuum seal your clothes before leaving the house, before you get to Colorado or Wyoming or Montana, Utah, wherever you're going to be hunting. I've seen it happen at least 4 times where hunters would pack a whiskey bottle with their hunting clothes. Whiskey bottle will break in transit, ruins their freaking hunt. Or they have to get a whole other set of clothes. Number 2, and you can see here how I have it marked out with an X as well, calls. Leave these at home. If you're in your first year out on an elk hunt, please do not bring an elk call with you. Matter of fact, if I could have figured out a way to have designed it and patented it, I would have created an elk call device that could tell when hunters had them on them, because I had more hunters blow a hunt over an elk call than anything else. Overcalling, not knowing when to call, not knowing how to call. They see the people on videos do it or on the outdoor channel or whatever the case may be and think that that's what you have to do. They go, oh, well, this is the truth. No, it's not the truth. It's a bunch of bullshit. Believe me. Now, what I would personally do is if you deem it necessary, you have to bring an elk call with you to feel that feeling of that elk hunt. Get you a very simple cow call, something not too extravagant, not something very hard to use. Ask your outfitter how they'd like you to utilize it and when it would be appropriate. Just something as simple as... I've had more elk come in on that call right there that I just displayed than anything else. I never hardly ever carried a bugle call. Just a simple cow call or a little plunger cow call, even better for a first-year hunter, I believe. But just really do your research before you start bringing calls with you. Number 3, bring your hunter's safety certificate. I've seen it more times than not. Hunters come out all the way from South Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi, wherever the case may be, and the DOD, or I'm sorry, the DOW, the Department of Wildlife, would say, sir, we're not going to issue you a hunting license at this point because you don't have your hunter safety course. And at that point, they either have to do a 48-hour crash course, if there's one available in that particular area at that time. They have to call up the state in which they're from, see if they can get it faxed over, yada, yada, yada. It's a gigantic pain in the ass. Be sure you bring your hunter safety card. Number 4, know your area. Know the area that you're going, know the area that you're going to hunt, know the area or what unit it might particularly be. Say, for instance, and I'm just using for example, when I lived in Colorado, I guided hunts in Bushy Creek. Bushy Creek was an over-the-counter unit in archery season. All you had to do was show up with a hunter safety course, pay them $450 out of state tag, and you were ready to go hunting. However, just right across the road, 131 was the Flat Tops. That was considered a trophy unit. You had to draw an archery tag for that particular unit. And basically, if you didn't know that before you came out, you might not be hunting. So make sure you know the area that you're going to be hunting and do your research. Go on their state website. Make sure that you're within the legalities to hunt in that particular area that you want to go. Number 5, the equipment that you need. Very simple. If you're a bow hunter like I am, simple knife, bow, arrows, the clothing that we've gone over previously. Let me stress as well, rubber boots, no sir. You need to have a nice pair of lace-up boots. You're talking, on average, if I had a hunter that was in shape and I didn't have to babysit, we would walk on average 7 to 8 miles a day. We're talking uphill and downhill over rocky terrain. Rubber boots in out west in an elk hunting situation, they don't cut it. I know there's a couple old boys out there who probably do wear some rubber boots. They think it's the thing to do. However, I don't suggest it. Simple knife, nothing too extravagant. You don't have to be Rambo. You don't have to be Jim Bowie. If that's your taste, go with it. Just make sure it's sharp. Also, have your bow, your arrows, things of that nature. I always hunted with regular standard arrows with 100 grain broadheads. I know some people use 125. If they can find them heavier, that's fine too. In my opinion, it's all about placement. It's not so much about kinetic energy anymore unless you're utilizing a recurve like I do now. But when I was hunting with a compound bow, I found a 100 grain broadhead more than sufficient to get the job done. Also, I'd suggest bring a little Ruger 1022 with you. Not really so much for camp protection. I don't think it's very necessary. I mean, you do have black bears and mountain lions, but I don't think anything to really lose sleep over. I say bring you one of these in case you see some grouse. When you're up there, they fly in the tree branch and you can knock them down with these all day long. Bring your little Ruger 1022 or a little Cowboy Action 22 pistol. If you are somebody who's extremely worried about a bear coming into camp or a mountain lion, little handgun would suit you just fine. 40 caliber to 45. I have been stalked by mountain lions 2 times. Though I did mountain lion hunt extensively, I'm talking during an elk hunt. I had mountain lions stalk me when I was outfitting, bringing in a string of mules with supplies on them. Had it stalk me for 45 minutes before I got to camp. Got as close as 100 yards behind me. And another time I had a mountain lion stalk me again on my way back to camp. Different time, different year, while I was bow hunting with a cousin of mine. And stalked us all the way back to the camp. And went past the camp, all the way down to the truck. About another half an hour, probably trekked downhill and stalked us all the way there. So I'm not saying it can't be done, highly improbable. I still, yet again, wouldn't lose any sleep over it. But I would say minimum threshold 40 caliber or 45. If something did happen in that regard, stopping power, stopping power, stopping power. Last but not least, what I want to go over with you, if you have any hard time finding what might be a reputable licensed outfitter, I would highly suggest you looking into Colorado High Lonesome Outfitters and Guides out of Steamboat Springs, Colorado. They're, the closest town would be Steamboat Springs. They're about 30 minutes, 40 minutes south of Steamboat Springs out of a town called Yampa. They've been operating for close to 25 years plus. Very, very highly reputable human beings. Jason Gilsinger and Tom Bowers are the gentlemen that own that particular service. And I can honestly tell you from the bottom of my heart, Red Horn Society backs them. If you book a hunt with them, they're going to do everything they can to try to get you elk. And they're going to do everything they can to make sure that your accommodations are met, as well your sleeping and things of that nature. So I would highly suggest going on your search engine and looking into Colorado's High Lonesome Outfitters and Guides. Now with that being said, I hope everybody's out hunt successful this year. Post some comments. If you have any additional questions, I'll read the comments and I'm going to do a cleanup video afterwards. I didn't script this one out as much as I would have liked to have. I just kind of wanted to go over the brief overview of what I think is necessary for a first year elk hunt. But please do leave some comments. I'd like to go ahead and read through some of them and make a cleanup video afterwards. Like our page and keep coming back to the Red Horn Society.